Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Thank you. Watching this on a streaming channel. We are here tonight to celebrate the end of the program, the first annual program of MITdesignX. And I'm going to introduce myself briefly, and then we're going to get to the presentations fairly quickly. So my name is Fabio Carrera. I'm from Venice. I was born here. I am a professor at Worcester Polytechnic Institute in the United States, in Massachusetts. And I've been bringing students to Venice for 35 years. But also, more importantly, in the past 4 years, I co-founded Serendipity, which is a benefit corporation. It stands for Serenissima Development and Preservation Through Technology. And our mission is to repopulate Venice. And the way we plan to do that is through the facilitation of the creation of jobs in the historic city of Venice. And what you're here to see tonight is an example of how you can create jobs in our city. I want to say a few words about where we are for those of you who are watching on streaming. Maybe you can get a quick view of this. You get some images here. We're inside a place that's obviously currently used as an incubator. That's what we're here for. Serendipity got this from the city of Venice until 2027, and it was restored to be an incubator for startups. But before that, and this is interesting, used to be a factory. For those of you who don't know or are watching from home, you can see the apses in there. So these floors went all the way across, and this church was completely obliterated for 100 years. And they made garments. It was called the Herian Factory. And of course, before that, this was a church. This is a map from Benedetto Bordone from 1528, and already in 1528, this church was on the map. So it has a long history, and now it's directed towards the future, and this is why it's an incubator now. What Serendipity does are three main things. We do research, culture, and startups. Research through the Venice Project Center and the students from WPI who are here right now. Some of them may even be in the room right now. We have 25 students at this moment. We also participate in grants. We do culture. So what you see today is just one example of what we do. If you came here this past weekend, there was a concert here. So thanks to Emanuele Wilch Barberio and Cosmo, we have been bringing all kinds of artists into this space to create a creative culture that fosters innovation. And of course, we do startups. We created our own startup initially, DAAB, which is a successful startup that is a public transportation app. We also co-host the Climathon Venice every year here. But most importantly, we host MITdesignX Venice. And this is the first year. But I want to tell you a little bit of an anecdote about how this started, why we're here, in a way. It all started from Dennis Frenchman, whom all of the startups met on the second workshop. He's the founder of MITdesignX in Boston. Came here to visit me, saw the church, and on the way out, he said, "We need to start MITdesignX Venice. I would love to see an MITdesignX sign on the facade outside this church." And this is for you, Dennis, if you're watching from Australia. We got the sign up for you, and this is the fulfilling of your dream. And we worked on this over COVID for 2 years until we got to where we are today. So this is the first inaugural program of MITdesignX Venice. As you all know, there was a series of steps even this year. Started in May. We had 3 events before July. Gilad was here in June for the open day. And then we had the deadline for the submissions. We got 56 submissions and selected you 10 as the best of the lot for the year. And before I pass it over to Gilad, because for those of you especially who are watching from the US, as you all know, tomorrow is Thanksgiving in the US. Here it's just Thursday, but tomorrow is Thanksgiving. So let's give thanks to everyone that was involved in making this happen. This is not a small endeavor. This is our first time doing this. We had a lot to learn ourselves. So first of all, thank the audience here, those of you who are participating, but also those who are witnessing here and through streaming. Thank you to the Comune. The Comune, the City of Venice, owns this place. We are in a partnership with them. And so they need to be thanked as the real owners of the place and their support that they give us. And the region of Veneto also gave us their support, and they should be thanked, and hopefully this will turn into even more support in the future. Of course, I'd like to thank Serendipity, not myself, but the board. Andrea Marcon is here somewhere. There he is, the co-founder together with me of Serendipity, and Luca Giuman, the third co-founder, unfortunately got COVID this week, and so he can't be here with us. But Luca, you're probably watching from home. Thank you. But also thank you to all the staff of Serendipity that have been working behind the scenes. We did a total of 12 workshops here, a lot of work. So thank you, Aurora and Sara. Thank you, Gianluca, wherever you are. Thank you, Marco. And thank you to the other Marco, our newest intern. We've had a lot of interns helping us through this whole time. So thank you all for making it happen. And thank you to all the other assistants, the people who helped us produce these things, including the Enrico Wilchin and the other Enrico Stocco, who are manning the cameras right now. Thank you for doing that. And thank you, Emanuele Virz-Barberio, for helping us do the sound and audio and everything every single time. He's also the man behind Cosmo, the art portion of what we do. Thank you, Emanuele. And thank you, of course, to all our supporters, both financial and in kind, and starting from Fondazione di Venezia, who supported all the teams this year with their generous donation. Each team received right off the bat 4,000 euros out of the money that the 50,000 euros that Fondazione gave us, and the last 10,000 are the prizes for tonight. So later on, Michele will give the big checks for the 3 prizes, 5,000, 3,000, 2,000 for the top 3. I'd like to also, of course, thank UAV. UAV provided not only students, and if there are students from UAV here, please stand up for a second. Anybody from the UAV here? Please, stand up. There you are. I knew there were more. So the UAV students were paired with the teams this year as assistants. And so they got to go through the whole program and watch what was going on. And hopefully next year they will become the new applicants for the startups for next year. And some of the UAV students were so good that they became literally part of the teams. They weren't just assistants, they actually became part of the teams. So thank you for that. And thank you to the faculty from UAV. Max Romero, in primis, who's here, who is going to be on the jury as well. I don't know who else is here from UAV at this moment. But I would particularly like to thank Margherita Turvani, because she was really a co-founder almost of this, working with us throughout the whole year and trying to get UAV involved and getting us to work with her. And unfortunately, as many of you know, her daughter died this past week, unfortunately. And so I'd like to suggest a moment of pause to remember Alma. So let's give thanks for being here today and being alive. And thank you to all the mentors that supported the team. So each team not only got UF students, but they also got mentors. Thanks to Gilad's and the great network of MIT alumni that are in Italy and others that we found along the way. So if there's any mentors here, please stand up so we can thank you as well. They were in regular touch with the teams and helped them in all different ways with their skills and expertise. They had different skills and expertise, and from what I hear, they were all helpful for the teams. So thank you. And also for those who are watching from home. And of course, the biggest thanks goes to the MITdesignX faculty who ran this whole program through the year, and especially to Gilad Rosenzweig, who's been the leader. All of these people came here sometime or another. Dennis came for the second workshop. Gilad was here every single time. Svava was here last workshop. And together with Siggy, and Maria was here on, I think, a third workshop. And they were all great, I think we can all agree. And they continue to help us as well. And then finally, a big thanks to the startup teams. Thank you. I'm going to miss you guys. I really will. We became kind of like a family. We've been seeing each other so frequently. I don't know, I hope this is not the end of it. There will be some winners, but to us, just like children, you're all winners, and we love you all. And truly, we will support you until you give up on your startup. We will support you, both Serendipity, but also DesignX. This is a never-ending thing. We're going to be with you in the years to come. And we'll call you back to be testimonials for future teams to show them how far you've gotten. And we'll do that. And great success to you all. And so thank you all. Thank you for being here. And let me pass the baton to Gilad for the introduction of the team.
Hi, everybody. This is amazing to be at this day. We've been, together, like Fabio said, as a family, really, for the past 3 months. And I knew this day would come, and we'd see you off. But but we're glad that this is the day that you can do it, and we're in such good company today. Thank you. I know you thanked everybody, Fabio, and now it's our turn to thank you. You helped put this all together. You started this. You pushed us. You made it happen. So, Fabio Carrera. It's been absolutely fantastic working with you and everybody here and all the teams. And like you said, we're just starting. It's not the end. You know where I am. It's not hard to get me to come to Venice, in case you noticed. It wasn't hard to convince me to come to all the workshops because I want to be here. I love it here. I really love this city. I love being on the Giudecca, and I love working with startups. So you put it all together, and that's where we come to. So this is where we came to, just to let everybody know, and we're about to get started, so get ready, teams. But just so everybody knows how we got here, for the past 3 months, all these teams have been working through a methodology, our workshops, which include 4 phases that went by like that, but they went through an understanding of what they need to do, who the market is, what the need is. They started looking about who else would be involved in that project, who the other stakeholders are, and then they started creating their solutions. And they made some pretty incredible solutions that you're going to see today, products, services, and different processes. They then applied business to it, right? Because it's no good just having a good idea if you can't figure out how to commercialize or get it into the world in some format, for-profit, non-profit, no matter what, you need a business behind it. And finally, making it scalable and deploying it to the world. So we went through these 4 phases. You can see more about our program online. I'm not going to go through every module, but that's what these teams, these people, have been doing for the past 3 months. A lot of workshopping on their own material, and a lot of thinking, and a lot of decision making, and a lot of changing, right? You're going to see, at the end of the 3 months, you're going to see something that is very different than what a lot of us have seen, 3 months ago, or even in some cases 2 days ago, right? Which is good. You're supposed to always improve and always learn and always do a little bit of pivoting, because that's how you know you've tested something, and you don't just try to force something that doesn't work. You see what needs to be improved, and you do that. And that's where we are today with 10 incredible presentations coming up, 10 incredible ventures, 40, 50, 40 odd people, whatever, I don't remember the exact number of people who are involved on the teams, and all the people who've been involved supporting the teams. So that's all I'm going to say, because I think Fabio really did a wonderful intro already. And the way it's going to work, we also have 6 jury members with us, 6, 5, okay, who are going to be here asking some important questions and getting to know your ventures a little bit more, and that's going to help everybody in the audience as well. And at the end, so after all 10 teams go, one team will come up after another, and at the end, the jury will go probably into that room and do a little bit of deliberations, and they will come up with the prizes. Now, as Fabio said, everybody who got into the program is already at the top, right? You've already won, and you're all going to, the prizes are really just an extra bonus that we like to give, and I think it's, we all discussed it, it is good, a good way of pushing yourself even harder. However, we are looking forward to all 10 presentations today, and without further ado, I think we will get started. So I'm going to invite the first team, Rehab, if you'd like to join us. This is Team Rehab.
So, good evening. I'm Matteo, and with Marta, we are the founders of Rehab. She's Marta. She's an expert in the recovery and production of Murano glass chandeliers within her family business, while I'm a designer who enjoys combining Murano glass with new technologies. Working in Murano with Glassmaster, we realized that half of the glass they use is thrown away. We are talking about 1,000 tons of glass per year, a volume equal to the Campanile di San Marco. The problem is that this glass is not recycled, because only glass containers for food and beverage are recycled, while most of the other glass we use is not. For example, every year in Europe, building sector produces almost 5 million tons of glass waste, which means 5,000 Campanile di San Marco, by the way. And do you know where all these glass end up? Well, unfortunately, most of the time here in the landfill, creating a huge ecological but also economical damage. This is where we step in. At Rehab, we develop new, easy-to-use technologies to process non-recyclable glass. We basically turn glass waste into a paste that we can manipulate, we can shape at room temperature. We therefore produce new objects that after a small step in the oven, they lose the non-glass components. The result is a new 100% Murano glass object. For this process, we use a custom-made patent-pending extruder, while the glass-based formula is protected by trade secret. We have already tested this process with some glass factories. From their own waste, we produce decoration that Glassmaster have then applied to their products. But our beachhead market is represented by luxury brands interested in implementing Murano glass collections. There is a growing trend within this market for Murano glass products. However, there is a lack of innovation and attention to younger generation. We can fill this gap by making a wide range of products and shapes which are impossible to make with any other traditional techniques. In addition to that, our products, our objects, are sustainable, and not only because they are made from waste, but also because we use just little energy to make them. We don't use expensive gas, but electricity, and we are now planning to use solar energy to make our lab completely off-grid.
We are receiving important awards at startup contests, and our prototypes are exhibited in important museums worldwide. We started from a local point of view, but in order to have a real impact on global issues, we cannot process only Murano glass. After 3 years of research and development, we now can process 20 kilos of glass per month, but we are working at reaching 200 kilos per month with a potential cash flow of 50 to 70,000 euros per month. We work with 3D printing, injection molding, and a brand new technique to make tiles and surfaces. Now, we aim to develop a compact, easy-to-use machine that can process at least 1 ton of glass on site wherever the glass waste is produced, transforming it into new objects, partitions, pieces of furniture, tiles. This will allow us to extend our accessible market, also making our knowledge and know-how available to all by licensing the technology, boosting the ecological impact, and making our process available and scalable, really, and more profitable. We are expanding our team, also looking for partners to help us contribute to a zero glass waste society. Rehab will become the 5th R of the circular economy. Thank you.
For anyone who is interested, we have prototypes here, so you can basically touch the results.
I was wondering if the Murano glassers were interested in using their own glass before they became waste. For example, using 3D printers or something like that for less artisanal objects.
Well, they are interested in working with us. I must be honest, I've been shocked by the feedback from Murano glass industry, because at the beginning we were worried because we know Murano is a kind of old-fashioned, quite also traditional island. But then they started really help us. They're not just only our provider, because they give us for free the glass waste, but they give us advices, and they are pushing us to implement this process, because they see in our startup, in us, a good way to promoting the glass in a new way. So yes, the answer is yes. If you notice there are a kind of hybrid object, which is our decoration on the bottom of a goblet. Okay, the glass master and the factory were so happy to make them. They ask us. They put the stamp to say, "We made with you."
Thanks.
Congratulations, it's very interesting, your business, your product. My question is about any partnership with the fashion brands, or maybe because you told something about this, because this could be very useful for your business model.
Yes, actually now we are negotiating some work with in commissions with fashion brands. Mm-hmm. So they are more than clients, they're partners. And for us now, we have partners so real parts, so with more active interaction, but they are more into the glass chain, let's say. We are working a lot with fashion brands and also with company related to fashion industry, and so it's came up something interesting, let's say.
I was wondering, what is the scope of the kind of, of artifacts that you can produce? It looks like a 3D kind of printing, right?
Yeah.
So is there any limitation in the kind of objects you can come up with? Those look like, yeah, they're containers, but so they're not, so they're opaque, so to speak. So is there a possibility to be as flexible as the market might need?
Well, technology must be a bit more improved. We can actually go higher, so we can make 3D, three-dimensional objects, and of course, we can make a wide range of products. We notice on the presentation. It's important to point out that this is not the traditional Murano glass. This is a new way to process the glass. What we will try to do is to in a way to promote also a different way on working with. We can make bigger. We are working to make also bigger objects, of course decoration. We are working with tiles and more things. But the features of this glass is a bit different to the other, to meaning the traditional glass. For example, this is not transparent. This is not fully transparent. And I mean, it could be transparent, but we don't want to be transparent for two reasons, if I can. First, to make it transparent, we need to go higher in temperature. That means spending more energy, which is, for our perspective, it's useless. And then, because we want to make a difference between the traditional glass and then our glass.
Okay, congratulations for the presentation, it's very clear. I have a question regarding your potential market, because I can understand that the, let's say, material is, the material to produce, it is easy to obtain because it's garbage, let's say. And, but how you measure your potential market? How you create your forecast of growth?
Well, now we have started interviewing, for example, potential customers and company and brands related to fashion, which is we notice is maybe the best beachhead market to go into. We have really good feedbacks. And most of the brands and the people we interview, at the end they say, okay, we want to come to your office, to your lab, and see if we can collaborate. So the first is this. We're going to want to work mostly with the designer inside the creative offices of these brands. We've started promoting our lab and our company and startup in social. We notice and we receive this feedback that the first place they look at when they are interested in something is Instagram, for example. So now we are working on implement these social channels and then the website, and then we are developing the way we interact with these such clients. Please.
Can I add just one thing, is that what is quite stunning is that even though we have just a little marketing done so far, let's say almost nothing, but these brands already knock on the door, because there is a huge need in innovative and customized objects and details. So it's kind of really the need comes to us in a way.
But the problem probably is related with the lasting of this let's say, hype. No? It is very interesting. I know very well the system is very, very interesting. My concern is how we can measure the, let's say, duration of this hype and the dimension of the market, if it's possible in some way. Probably there is not an answer.
There absolutely will have to be a lot of research and development just going on and on, like one of the biggest parts of it.
Okay, thank you so much, Suzanne. Thank you so much. Great way to kick off. Okay, I'm now going to call up Team 2Gift. Come on up.
Hello, everyone. My name is Paolo, and with me, Alfonso and Federico. We are the 3 co-founders of 2Gift. Italy is a beautiful country where nonprofits are the backbone of the social system in terms of numbers of organizations and employees supporting key areas like arts and culture, social caring, and sport. And this opinion is shared by the vast majority of the population. In Italy, we got the beauty, but we lack some efficiency. And recent history has rolled out a critical point, the fragility of the nonprofit financial system that is unequally distributed, unstable, and unreliable. And this problem expands in times of crisis and stress like the one we're living right now. And exactly when its contribution is vital for all of us. At the same time, companies are pushed towards social sustainability, both by customers' awareness and regulations. And in our experience, companies are wasting lots of time and resources in this process. That's why our mission and the business opportunity we envision is to solve non-profit funding problem by optimizing the way companies invest their money in marketing and charitable giving. So we'll be the platform where companies can fund social projects using gift cards as a reward for supporters. Let's say it's like a crowdfunding campaign, but boosted by the gift card rewards. Okay, let's see an example. Despar, a supermarket chain, wants to engage a local community in Verona for a new store opening. So Despar goes on to Gift and selects a nonprofit called Abeo that needs to restore a building to host cancer families. A budget of 50,000 euros in gift card is allocated for the project. We create and launch a campaign on 2Gift, and Abeo and Despar spread the word about it. Alice, that lives in Verona and cares about Abeo's activity, gets aware of this campaign and decides to support it. She goes on 2Gift, contributes with 10 euro, and she receives a gift card of 10 euro as a reward from Despar. Alice can now go grocery shopping with her reward and her card in every store of the Despar circuit, knowing that with her choice, she's helping the building restoration. And like Alice, 650 people did the same. And so the project got funded and realized. And actually, that's a true story, as you can see. That's a win-win-win formula because people had the chance to support at no cost. Despar transformed 650 supporters into customers while growing its reputation and having precise metrics thanks to the gift card tracking. And Abeo discovered a new fundraising system that can be easily repeated for other projects and partners. And our business model is the 20% transaction fee. And we are able to expand the total market of the nonprofit fundraising because lowering the donation barrier, more people will be able to join it. We also can scale fast because we foresee our platform as a marketplace where, thanks to AI and machine learning, companies and brands, and the nonprofits, sorry, can be matched automagically. And sport is our natural beachhead market because in this area it's already common to do sponsorship in exchange for goods. And also because thanks to our background, we got direct connections. In fact, our team is a perfect mix of expertise in sport, crowdfunding, non-profit, and technology applied to marketplace and e-commerce. And we are also held together by a wonderful chemistry of passion, trust, and common goals. And that's our strength. We also worked, we are already on we already did a lot actually because we have our company already in place, contractual and fiscal framework set, and our MVP is already on the market. We worked with big players and more are joining every day. And at the moment on ToGift, you can go grocery shopping, but imagine if you can buy a bike or your furniture or whatever you need, knowing that you are supporting at the same time social projects and organizations like this we already helped. Now it's your time to believe in us, because we need a huge investment, because we want to scale fast and grow big. And we are ToGift, and we turn your shopping into social impact. Thank you.
I have two questions. One is, is the gift given only in return for someone using the card? Meaning, I have 50,000 euros to give. I split it into how many cards, and the 50,000 are given just when there's enough people who join in, or is it given anyway? And second, where do you make profit? I mean, what is your business model? I didn't see that.
Okay, so the budget is allocated by the brand. So in this case, the Spark decided to put 15,000 in gift cards. Okay, so as soon as supporters go to the platform and buy a card, that is triangulated directly to the organization. Our business model is that we take, sorry.
If people don't join in, there's no party, so to
Yeah,
speak.
exactly. Okay. So everybody is pushed to make people participate, both from the organization side and the company side. And our business model initially is the 20% of the transactions. Thank you.
How do you select the listed project?
That's a great question, because actually we discovered that companies have a big interest in communicating with local communities, but they kind of speak different languages. They have a very hard time in selecting projects and in matching one-to-one with little organizations, even though that community are their clients. So we found out that selecting ahead organizations and projects that are coherent with the mission and the vision of brands helps them in a way that is really critical. And so right now, that's what we're doing. Our vision is to create a marketplace where through AI, companies and organizations can be matched automatically, so that if Despar wants to invest in green or sport activity, she'll find out which organizations on our platform in which territories are doing which projects. So that's our next. Thank you.
Okay, congratulations. Can you give us an idea of your competitors, or your direct and indirect, the competitors, because this market is so crowded?
Yes, absolutely. Our competitors area, for example, we look to crowdfunding, and compared to crowdfunding, we have the point that we give 100% in purchasing value to the supporters in exchange for his participation. So compared to the donation crowdfunding, we feel very confident. Then we have instead the CSR and sponsorship that are always struggling to have metrics and data in return of their investment. Instead, through our dynamic with the gift card tracking, they have a perfect vision of what is the return on the money that they put in that project or in that investment. And then there is the usual activities that are made by the organizations, so selling oranges on the square, or the Stelle di Natale, okay, or brands that sell an item, giving back to the organization, usually from the 10 to the 20%. For example, Tigotà last year did that for Fondazione Veronesi. They sold an agendina for 10 euros, and 1 euro went to the Fondazione Veronesi. They raised 80,000 in a year. With our method, that would have been the 80%. And so we have, we recognize a huge slice of the funding raised to the beneficiary organization in the end. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Okay, we're going to call up our third team. Voga, please join us on stage. Give it up for Voga.
Welcome everybody to the presentation of Voga Yachts. We will introduce to you today a hydrogen electric waveless boat. Imagine this picture, the sunrise in Venice with very calm water being disturbed by boat traffic. And that undoubtedly will happen because boat traffic is very harmful and creates waves, noise and pollution. So imagine 30,000 boats in Venice only creating waves, creating damage to canals and to buildings and heritage. A lot of noise by old diesel engines, which is very unregulated, so no limits and constraints are put to it. And it's also very polluting. So annually in Venice only you have 35 million liters of diesel being consumed, 80 tons or kilotons of CO2. Imagine that translated into the worldwide perspective, and considering the fact that boat traffic on average is 10 times more polluting than land traffic, having 30 million boats worldwide, leisure boats specifically, having the similar problems. Of course, people are trying to mitigate that. So in Venice specifically, they implemented speed limits to mitigate the impact on the city of boat traffic. Unfortunately, that's counterproductive. So actually, a boat at 20 kilometers per hour creates 2 times more waves compared to a boat cruising at 40 kilometers per hour. Contrary to that, there's a greater public awareness and people are voicing themselves against the problems that they see and getting into protest. You see that worldwide, but you see that also locally. And on top of that, you also see that there's more enforcement of restrictive regulations. So Amsterdam, for instance, a city with problems similar to Venice, is going electric for canal transport by 2025. Germany is restricting access to lakes due to the pollution caused by boats and diesel engines. And Sweden is banning actually the 2-stroke engines, which make a lot of noise, which is the reason why they ban it.
So there are today green and silent solutions out there. For instance, you could go for hydrogen fuel cell powered boats, but unfortunately, the solution is on average 6 times more expensive than a diesel engine, and it's also fragile and the performance is not so good. If you want better performance, you could go full electric, but here you'll have a problem with range. To achieve the same amount of range as with a diesel boat, you need a battery so massive it would probably sink your boat. So Voga Yachts is the best of 2 worlds, a hybrid solution
that provides the performance and range of diesel engines with ultra-fast charging capabilities. Now, how do we achieve this? Basically, there's an electric motor which receives the power from supercapacitors instead of batteries. And that's where you get the ultra-fast charge, 5 minutes for a full charge battery. The power itself comes from a hydrogen generator, which is 100 times quieter than a diesel engine. The system is mounted on a low-wave hull, so this is a proprietary design that allows the boat to produce half the amount of waves as with conventional hulls. And overall, simulations indicate a 58% efficiency gain with our solution in regards to diesel boats.
And if we look at the market for leisure boats today, if you're looking at a 7 to 9 meter boat, a conventional boat with diesel power will set you back about 100K to 400K, depending on the power and the finish on it. If you want to go electric, the price is similar and tending to be even a little bit higher, but you have that penalty of the much lower performance and, of course, a much shorter range. If you want the full range, then you have to go to a hydrogen fuel cell type solution where the prices are more like 400,000 euros and above. And where we are placed is in a kind of a sweet spot in between where we're around 250,000 for an 8-meter boat, where we combine the features of all these technologies. And if you look at we mentioned already that there are 30 million boats, leisure boats in the world today. The actual business is approximately 30 billion per year. It's pretty well evenly split between new and used boats. So, of course, there are many more used boats because they are cheaper, so the numbers of the used boats are much higher. So what we're looking at is starting off with a full concept hydrogen electric boat that would therefore be in the new boat sales category. But then we're thinking also about all the people that have these second-hand boats and want to comply with regulations, and they want to drive their boat on a German lake, but they can't, and they need something to fix that. And so in a second step, we will be able to make our retrofit propulsion system available on the used market. And so the team, I'm Mike Tomasi. I was born and raised in Venice. I'm an electronics engineer, and I have a fairly wide physics background, and I'm actually behind the waveless boat concept. And I've worked as a business developer in electronics.
And I'm Anthony. I am the founder of Voga Marine, where we manufacture high-performance carbon fiber wing foil boards and stand-up paddle boards.
My name is Ronald de Graaf. I'm a mechanical engineer by education. I have more than 20 years experience in business development in the high-tech industry, semiconductor, but also in the energy storage and battery industry. And we would like to invite you to join our ride in the building of the future of boating. So, and we are open for any questions you might have. So please go ahead. Thank you very much.
So is the supercapacitor, whatever that is, the core? I don't know what the supercapacitor is. I think you mentioned it in some slide, but that's the patent. What is the original patent? So is that part of your intellectual property value? Let's say.
Well, the real patent is actually in the whole design by Mike. That creates and gives us 30% efficiency gain in fuel consumption. Due to the battery limitations, so the fast charging capability which you do not have, and the oversizing you would have to apply to get to a certain acceptable level of range, we use a supercapacitor technology which can be regarded as a sort of a super fast performing battery without having the heat generation that you have associated with battery. So it allows for fast charging, and that in combination with the generator provides for the range. So we have an ultimate combination of a generator that runs at a very low RPM, giving another 48% gain, So in the end, you end up with a system that, together with a low wave hole, fast charging, and a generator, gives you a 58% efficiency gain, which makes the solution very cost competitive with the conventional diesel solution, actually.
I would like to know how you are planning to charge the capacitors and where, if you need some kind of infrastructure, or you can start tomorrow, let's say.
Go ahead. Yeah. Well, of course, there's an infrastructural consideration attached to it. And one of those factors is if you introduce a new concept, then usually the infrastructure is not there. So that can be a reason for not to adopt to the concept. On the other hand, you have to think from the other side as well. So one of the things that we are looking at, we did not take that into this presentation, but it's certainly something that we are considering, is to work with boat sharing concepts, a rental concept where you basically have a communication with local governments and local societies to talk about how to introduce multiple boats at one time and building the infrastructure that is needed for that to support those boats, and by which you create basically sufficient leverage to introduce the infrastructure and justify the investments for that infrastructure as well.
And I might mention also that for the supercapacitors, we said that they can charge very quickly. So there are two important things. First of all, they do contain some lithium, but the lithium content is much, much lower than in batteries. It's less than 5% compared to a battery. And they also don't contain any of those metals which are problematic, like nickel and cobalt and so on. The second thing I wanted to mention is that there is obviously a potential for us to partner with one of the other teams in this room, which is EDOX, which we'll be talking later, and which can provide us with the infrastructure for recharging these supercapacitors. As far as hydrogen is concerned, we actually stayed in a hotel in one of the sessions that was right in front of the only hydrogen filling station in Italy, which is right here in Mestre. Unfortunately, it's on land, so for now we would have to take the boat out of the water and bring it to the gas station. But hopefully, by the time we introduce our boat, our intention is to introduce this boat at the Venice Boat Show in 2 years' time, and hopefully there will be hydrogen there for us.
I didn't understand if it's a product or it's a prototype, and if it's a product, can you show us something, one Voga yacht?
Today, we are at the stage where we have simulated the hull, and we are about to start scale model testing in a basin. We happen to be living close to a military facility that has a test basin where we can take these scale models and actually give final proof of the performance of the hull. The remaining items are much easier to achieve, and therefore the supercapacitors already exist. They're standard technology. There will be some research required to actually optimize our hydrogen power generator.
Then is the technology readiness level is 5 or 6?
We are looking at achieving level 4 about springtime this coming year.
Is there any?
The ICE technology that we use is actually a much higher level because that relies basically on the diesel technology, which is converted to hydrogen. So you basically utilize a technology that's around already for 40, 50 years and optimized also. So that's giving a high reliability factor, high TRL level, and of course we combine it with other technologies. So it's a bit in between, I would say.
Is there any regulatory restriction on hydrogen-powered boats? In Italy, I think they wouldn't be allowed to.
It's always a funny discussion because people raise the question rightfully, because there's a safety concern, because hydrogen is very explosive, very diffusive. So you need to use special gaskets, special valves, special safety precautions. Sorry? Yes, well, basically, honestly, hydrogen is a long time around. So it's not that it's unknown. It's just some kind of fear factor. But if you look from a regulatory perspective, then it's pretty clear. So you have to use the right materials, you have to use the right procedures, but it's not much different than compared to handling with diesel, for instance. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next up is Fair Up. Come on up.
Hey everyone, we are Fair Up, and we envision a world where tourists always make the places they visit better. Our team works inside the cooperative fairbnb.com, which already launched a short-term rental platform, and we at Fair Up, we are adding experiences to the mix. Tourism, in the pursuit for profit, started pushing out locals and local businesses. The result is the degradation of the local economy, culture, and community. It's a beautiful industry on the outside, but an ugly one on the inside. You can learn more about the topics in the movie, like The Last Tourist, or in many articles that discuss the industry. But what we find disturbing is that all the main solutions talk about educating tourists and putting all the pressure on us, the individuals, on how we travel. And that simply doesn't work. Locals in major cities have been screaming, "Tourists, go home," for years now. And why does this happen? Money doesn't stay in the local community. Tourism offer is optimized for profit, extracting cultural and natural resources. And tourism flows are unevenly distributed. But we think we can do better. Tourism can be the force for good. We have the solution. We are Fair Up, a marketplace that connects tourists with local experiences, and we donate a part of the commission to the local social projects. How do we do that? We find projects that contribute to the SDGs, like no poverty, zero hunger, decent work, and economic growth. For example, in Slovenia, we signed a contract with the organization Kings of the Street, which is a non-profit that prevents homelessness and tries to improve their life. And they are a great example because they are not just a social projects that we try to donate to, but they are also an experience, a really transformative one. You go on a tour with an ex-homeless person that is part of the recovery program of the organization, and they take you and uncover invisible sides of the Slovenian capital. These kind of projects and these kind of experiences are what we want more in tourism. But why are these kind of projects and these kind of experiences not present on the digital platforms that we know today? It's because these non-profits, non-governmental organizations, artisans of all sorts, farmers, scientists, they don't have the knowledge, time, or the digital skills to be part of the platform economy that tourism is part of. That's why we've built a special feature inside of our platform that allows our local partners that we educate and train, we call them scouts, to find experiences in their local areas, onboard the experience providers, and manage their profile instead of them. In return, of course, they earn part of the commission. In the past 2 years, we've been on the field a lot. We talked with thousands of providers, and we saw that there is a need for hundreds of these kind of providers that need the help of a scout. When we launched our project in Slovenia, we onboarded 20 scouts that found more than 70 experiences and onboarded it on our MVP platform at the time. Even when we talked with all the tourism providers that got the help from the Scout, they were happy to give up to 15% of their revenue just to have these young students and or locals to help them become part of the digital platform economy. And so with our unique model, we try to solve the problems of the industry. In our case, money stays in the local community, tourism offer is more conscious and inclusive, and tourism flows outside the normal hotspots as we add experiences to the platform that were previously not part of the digital platform economy. Our next steps are to launch the project in Ljubljana and Venice. We will try to onboard 30 experiences in each city and test. Ljubljana and Venice are going to be our testing ground. After that, we will try to expand our network to other countries and cities that are also already part of our Fairbnb short-term network. We have a huge network already waiting for us. We have partners of the Big Issue Foundation in the UK, Arci in Italy. Our FairUp startup has also been accepted to the Social Tides growth track, which is supported by the google.org, where we also get mentoring support and some additional finances. Here you can see a sneak peek of our product. Here is an example of the experience from my region, from the Slovenian Istria. We are now really close to finishing the platform development and are going to be ready to onboard hosts and scouts in the Q1 of 2023. And we would like to launch the product in the spring of the next year. So at the end, I would like to invite you to plan your travels for Ljubljana or to Venice in the spring of 2023. Add values to your experiences, fair up the places you go to. Thank you.
Can you explain better how you plan to support the local communities to, let's say, fulfill the technical capability to enter in the digital platform?
Okay. So our biggest idea, I guess, is so that we add Scout into this business model. So this local agent. I can say that I started in my region as a Scout, and let's say I have three tourism providers on how I help them. I can explain this to you. So in one case, the old-timer tour that was on the slide before, he is a local guide which wants to offer his authentic experience in a car that his granddad gave it to him, but he doesn't own a computer. So it's really hard to be part of the business today, to be part of the digital platform economy without anyone doing the back office work from here. And even like the whole idea started here with today's mom, which owns a family business, a herbal farm, and outsourced the whole back office work on like how to market themselves on the digital platforms to today. And then he was like, okay, maybe there are many other tourism providers who would need this help. And through our experiments, we saw that there is a need to do so. And the other part on how we help the local communities is by donating to the projects that come from the area where the reservation happens.
So this seems okay but, in small communities, but when you say you're going to apply it to Paris, Toronto, and they're big cities, is there a sense of local return there as well, or is it? I understand it here in a small village or in Venice, where but big cities are different stories. No?
So we use the term peripheral tourism a lot, which we say that could be in a geographic context or in the one is geographical content and the other one is conceptual, or like the content. Okay, so the experience like I presented from the Ljubljana, like the homeless tour, this for us is a really peripheral experience. Why? Because they they don't get any support from the national bodies in terms of like tourism boards that would promote it on the big, because it's it's a marginalized community and like experience. So we believe that every city, even Paris and other big cities we know that has a lot of these providers, and we even done research in Ljubljana because we were part of the Smart Desk project where we actually interviewed these kind of providers that are in the city centers but feel like that they don't get support to actually be part of the tourism market.
Right. So, and then a comment. I'm not sure that, you know, in the current model of tourism, you know, the locals don't make money, because indeed this is one of the reasons why, you know, tourism, you know, is growing in, for instance, in here, because the locals do make money, even though they complain. Well, this is a well-known phenomenon in Venice, for instance. So if they don't make money, so money does not go to fair and socially, you know, equitable enterprises, but locals do make money, I believe.
Yeah, to comment on this, maybe just even our platform is built in a way that we would like to take only as much commission as we need to work, like to sustain ourselves. But then there is an arrow that goes from the platform to the local partner, so that as much of the commission that we take stays actually in the areas where tourism happens, which is different than competitors and so on.
Just a question. The business model is very interesting. I was thinking if you are planning of building an API system to connect with other platforms instead of Airbnb, because maybe many people find it easier to use other platforms, but would like to share to have a better impact on the locals. So maybe this could work for you.
Yeah, that is an interesting thought. We had discussed before on the connectivity. So like when a scout helps a certain provider, you could have a tool that actually connects him to other OTAs as well, right? But currently we are not developing this, but it has been on our thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you, Farah. Next up, we have eDoc.
Hello, everybody. I'm Francesco, co-founder of eConcept, a startup based in Venice since 2019. And our mission is actually to provide charging infrastructure for boats, okay, and creating a big network of charging infrastructure. So let's get straight to the problem. So my colleague was mentioning before, the big threat of electric boating sector is the lack of infrastructure. Why? Because what is happening in this sector will be way quicker compared to the automotive industry. Why? Because everything is ready, the technology is there, and is just brought to the boats now. So in the next few years, the big threat is that we will have hundreds of thousands of boats that they don't know where to charge, unless there is an infrastructuring plan that allows electric boaters to charge their boat. Okay, so the solution we created is called eDoc, which is actually nothing more than a mooring post, so where actually boats can tie on it and moor, and at the same time they can charge. So from this picture, you can actually see it better. So you can see that it perfectly integrates in the landscape. So it's nothing more than a classical mooring post with the upper part in where there is the technology, the charging technology inside. So from here, you can see on the right, you can see better how it's structured. So the post is actually posing on the seabed. And then there is the power cable coming from the grid. And then on the upper part, there is the technological part. So our infrastructure can deliver 22 kilowatt power, can be used for public charging, so satisfy all the norms. It's very easy to use. You can just book and pay by app. And is ecological because it's made with all the recyclable and recycled material. Now let's get more in the reason why we focused a lot on the design of the product. Because the context is completely different from the automotive. You see, the charging infrastructure used for cars, they are normally installed in very, not ugly, but anonymous areas. Those can be garages or car parking or in front of a mall or a gas station. Instead, if we talk about marine areas, most of the time, aesthetic counts. So to have a low impact and a beautiful design is important because this infrastructure will be part of our landscape in the future. And if we look at the images, these are just 2 random images I found online about marine areas, okay? So from this picture that I'm showing to you, you can see our installation we already completed. And you can see how the design of our infrastructure is actually very well integrating in the landscape with a very low visual impact, okay? So we can also, our product is totally customizable and is scalable. And we also have an international patent on the technical solution. So we have 2 revenue streams. One is about the product and one is about the service. So when we talk about service, we talk about selling the charging service, so, okay? And also we have 2 different targets. So targets that basically buy our product, and these can be private boat users, dealers, so B2B or marinas, or if we sell the charging service, like, you know, the multi-utility companies doing the same with the automotive infrastructure. These can be public companies, city council, or also marinas. What is very interesting is to understand how fast is the market growing, because there is an estimate of 16 billion value in less than 10 years. But what is impressive is actually the number of boat users in US and in Europe, and the number of boats. Consider that between Europe and US, there are 18 millions of boats, and 90% of them, you can carry them on a trailer. So it's like between 10 and 30 feet, and which is the perfect size to be electrified very easy. Also, big corporates are investing now in the electric boating, like BMW and General Motors. I read a few days ago, like 150 million spent, you know, to make an investment. So traction and achievements so far. So far, we were approved by the Venice Heritage Office. We are collaborating with the local waste company, which is a public company, to collect the garbage locally, which is electrifying their boats. Repower Italia, which is a big company with the last year turnover of 3 billion, acquired 5% of our shares. And lately, we won a public call to infrastructure the Cinque Terre, so a beautiful protected marine area. So let's see the forecast. So you see that the next year we'll be focusing on then to reach the scale up in 2024 by delivering a higher number of units, but also starting to deploying our own charger, so to also sell the charging service. And so there is hard work to be made next year. In fact, we have a set of goals of 12 months, and the priority are basically to launch the second version of our product that will have also certification for the US market. Then, of course, we'll need more people. We will firstly increase the sales in Europe, and then we'll enter the US market, focusing in five states. So this is our team. So we are now 6. But I wanted to thank you a lot, the guys that have been working with me in the past 3 months, that are from Ca' Foscari University and from UAV, that really give me a big help. And thanks for listening. My quote is, if it works in Venice, it works worldwide. So if you have any question, feel free to ask.
Congratulations, very interesting. I was wondering if you collect data from this device, and if you are going to put some other sensors, some other devices on it.
Nice question. Yes, sure. The 2.0 version of our infrastructure is actually projected to host sensor on the top to collect sensible data in terms of PM, pollution, quality of the air, humidity, and so on. So yeah, we're working on it.
I have a question regarding the competitors.
Yes.
Which is the barrier to other people to enter in this market?
Well, basically, absolutely. So we have more indirect competitors compared to direct for two reasons. So the first reason is indirect competitors are all the companies that are deploying charger for cars. They can actually be used for boats, same technology. What differs from them is that we started a charger, marinized charger, so specifically for boats. And the 2.0 version of our product will be a white label. So we will be able to sell it to whatever company. So potentially, the multi-utility company that are now deploying charger for cars can become our customers because they can install their software into our charger. They can brand our product and they can sell it.
It's mainly product design, let's say. The strong part of your company is the design of the product itself.
Yes.
The capability of to be in the water, let's say.
Yes, exactly. It's studied to be on the water, to resist against salt, against humidity. In fact, if you noticed, in our infrastructure, there are no screen, nothing more than a plug, because you do everything by smartphone, because, of course, there are so many different, it's such a different environment when you are in the water. And another thing I didn't tell you is that in our mooring post, at least in Italy, we are working in putting the electric meter inside. So this is a work we are carrying on with the Enel Distribuzione, so a big company that owns the network, the grid. And even for them, it's something new. It's something they are norming. To install the electric meter inside. Of course, if we talk about the US market, that's a question I don't know. I still don't know, but it's interesting.
Congratulations, very interesting.
Thank you.
I was wondering, which is the role of Repower, your new partner? Is it commercial or industrial?
Exactly, a little bit of both. So the partnership with Repower was a strategical partnership for us, basically because they are developing a nautical sector. So they are starting to build boats because they they are really working on boats. And also...
a new market for them.
It's a new market for them, exactly. They are now working, they are developing different type of electric boats. Okay, so they need the infrastructure. And they really liked our project. So we have been, snuffing each other at the last edition of the Venice Boat Show, not this one, 2 years ago. And then last February, we decided to do that, but also with a commercial advantage, because in Italy they have 750 commercial agents, and our product will be, listed in their product list. So all their agents will be selling even our product through their commercial network.
Is an example of open innovation.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
So you're going to notice there's a little theme this evening, and also with our cohort. There's a lot of social good. There's also a lot of water, and in that theme, I'd like to invite our next team, See the Change.
Good evening. Good morning. I'm Alberto. They are Luca and Francesco, and we are the co-founders of See the Change. See the Change is an innovative startup with a social vocation. sorry. So social location burned by the urgency to act because of marine litter, biodiversity loss, acidification of oceans, and climate change are all putting pressure on oceans. But actually, oceans are the most valuable player against climate change and also to lead the ecological transition. But the fact is that the economic system has some troubles. For example, there is lack of mechanisms that allow private investments on protection of oceans. And so we saw an opportunity to give companies a unique, comprehensive, and innovative solution, sea-based corporate social responsibility strategies with a specific value proposition. Maximize companies' sustainable strategies in order to address carbon neutrality. How it works? By our services, Blue Carbon, in which we generate blue carbon credits protecting the Venice lagoon ecosystem. Poseidon, in which we increase the biodiversity of Posidonia midwows in coast of Catalonia by mapping and monitoring them. And Fishing for Litter, in which we give another form of income to fishermen to collect plastic from the sea. When companies buy our services, they get in return reliable and measurable KPIs that they can put in the sustainability report. Now it's here where we started, but we want to grow and we want to scale up like that in all over the Mediterranean Sea. To do that, we need to reach a large number of companies, but market trends are on our side. Thanks to a stricter and stricter year-by-year directive of European Union, more and more companies need to embrace corporate social responsibility. And also, there is another growing market led by the tourism sector, the blue economy market. So it's now the time to take a slice of this blue pie. Against our competitors, we are the first to give a unique, comprehensive, sea-based solution with a huge biodiversity impact and a science-based approach. But also, and not less important, we give the possibility to companies to be more attractive to investors, following the ESG criteria. Practically, how it works. A company has a CSR budget, we make an impact analysis, and we get a carbon footprint that we can compensate with the blue carbon service. Also, we can allocate some of the budget for Poseidon and for Fishing for Litter. At the end, we will communicate to all the stakeholders, also by our platform, the impact generated. And here, there is an example of the positive impact that we can make with a kind of CSR budget. The roadmap for the next month will be opening the office here in Venice and expand to big tourism markets as Sardinia and Canarias. Also, in this first year, we had some accomplishments, and we won 3 prizes at Web Marketing Festival at the International Startup Competition. We are here at MITdesignX, and recently we closed our first deal with our brand ambassador, Emer Yacht. This is the team, and dive into the next level of sustainability with City Change. Thank you.
So I'm not sure I see, why. I mean, there are a number of agencies and providers of services like this, or am I wrong?
Why?
A number of agents, of subjects, of companies, consultancy companies that are providing similar services. Or did I miss something? I mean, I don't see why, as a company, I would choose see the change with respect to, the number of advisors and consultancy companies that provide similar services.
Sorry, can you name which, like a competitor? No, just because I would like to understand what you are thinking about.
No, I wouldn't. I was on the board of a listed company, and we developed the sustainability plan, and we had a number of advisors that we selected. We made a beauty contest and so on and so forth.
I mean, the consultancy services are like related services. They are not the core of our business. The core of our business is making companies invest in C-based CSR strategies, which are, for example, blue carbon credits. We are among the first one in Italy that can provide to company this innovative tool to compensate, for example, part of their CO2 emission. And then also, I don't know, they can invest and have a personalized boat trip to collect litter from the Adriatic Sea. And then we support them if they need to communicate it, and if they need it, to, I don't know, analyze their environmental negative impact.
So then do you have specific sectors where your business is more relevant than
For
others?
sure, all the industry around boats.
Okay.
Because, and also maritime transportation, and also the tourism sector is accounting for around 8% each year of CO2 emission, and today there is no, especially in Italy, there is a complete lack of a reliable company that can support an ecological transition for the tourism sector. So our business model allow, for example, hotels or tour operator to first make a good and important impact, positive impact on the marine ecosystem, and then thanks to our platform we can reach all their clients, and not only we will communicate to their clients, so to tourists, what we have done with them, but also we have a platform which basically...
Well, this is sector independent. I mean,
what?
Could be anyone,
Yeah, but you didn't let me finish, sorry. Because our platform is the first e-commerce, basically, where people can invest, like individuals like us, can invest in marine ecosystem. So I don't know if you know, like those e-commerce where you can plant a tree or something like that.
Yeah,
basically, we have the same concept, but based on project that take care of the environment. For example, with 15 euro, you can compensate part of the CO2 emission emitted during your trip in the sea. Or you can collect some plastic.
Can you explain your experience, the team, the skills and the experience of the team?
The three of us, we are environmental economists. So we have studied at the University of Bologna in Rimini campus. And the idea was born after we finish our master. And now we also have some external, let's say, collaborator that we hope we will be able to integrate very soon into the company. And one of them is a data analyst, so he's the one who's helping us to analyze the data we make with our platform. Because, for example, when we use our platform with companies, we can, after that, give to the company a specific report about their stakeholders' preferences in sustainability topics. So, and this is something that companies don't have now, because, I mean, what we have now about sustainability, it's just a general data. With us, companies can get personalized data from their clients, stakeholders, partners, I don't know, their stakeholders. And also, we have an environmental engineer who is supporting us with the part of environmental analysis.
The platform is already on the market?
Yeah,
or
we are ready for
beta
the
version?
No, it's running.
It's running?
Yeah, we are ready for the market since, let's say, 1 month and a half. Okay. So far, we got 2 clients, and one of them is also, I mean, quite a good client, let's say. And now we just closed, actually, yesterday, a deal with this Yacht company, which is one of, I mean, they produce very luxury yachts, and they are one of the first company in Italy in that sector that is looking towards making, I don't know, greener boats and putting the idea of sustainability also into that luxury market. And last week we were in Ecomondo, the biggest sustainability event in Italy, and we managed to have our own stand. And we had a lot of very interesting conversation with a lot of companies here in Italy, so we hope that in the next month we can add some new clients.
Good luck. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, See the Change. And again, we have this overlap between teams. So See the Change is going to make the Mediterranean and all the seas cleaner for our next team, PESCO. Right? Get it?
Nice to meet everyone. I'm Sandro, the co-founder of PESCO, and with me there are Alberto, my associate partner, and Davide. I always start with this sentence that encloses the passion of each of us. This is Jack Nicklaus, a golfer, but he very loves the fishing. In 2022, we're still fighting the overfishing that causes every year the loss of thousands of species in the world. And a lot of travelers during the year want to fish globally, but they lack of knowledge about laws and ecosystem fragility. And maybe want to learn the local technique or where it's good to fish. Meantime, many local fishers want to share their passion on their equipment, their knowledge, and amortize the cost of their passion, yes. But those two miss a link. They don't have the visibility, like a social group or a local guide. This is an example from a chat from a fisher with Alberto that need an help. This is some screen from a social group, and this is our stand on the last exhibition last weekend, where we collect hundreds of answers from the stakeholder. The saving of our ocean must remain a priority. We need to preserve the ecosystem and regulate with the laws to reduce the overfishing. So our aim is to create a platform that needs to be safe, easy, and quick as possible, that meets all the needs of the boat part, and a marketplace for fishing experience that never came so long research, boring research online, and this is, for example, a mock-up of our app that can you see the technique, the fishing that you can find, and the ultimate aim is to share the knowledge of the fish, how to fish, the time, the season, how to prepare, how to eat them. Because in Italy, we have 7,000 of coast and the culture and the heritage that is linked to the fishing. Luckily, we have some competitors overseas. For example, in America, Fisher expended $22 billion a year for the travel. But in Italy, there's no data about this digital market. But we want to start from our fishermen in Venice, a group of 2,000 Venetian crazy with their boats. And our business model is very, very simple. We take a fee from every match, every transaction, And we plan a subscribe fee for a premium list of captain or experience, for example. During the exhibition, we collected 2,000 answers. 130 expressed positive to sign up and test the platform, leaving an email. Among these, 10 professional fishers, a local guide, want to share this experience through our portal. So what's the next move? We want to enter in the mindset that we need to make a fishing experience with our string and our boat. During the exhibition, for example, we create a synergy with two important group, FIPSAS and Astronaut, that have the marinas and the touristic port. And the ultimate aim is to simplify and reduce the fishing tourism. With our idea, we have the opportunity to be part of the UNESCO with the Young Blue Mind project that we are selected for the innovation and the sustainability of the idea. And for UNESCO, it's important to resolve the SDG 14, that is for the life below the water. And we are here in Venice. This is our team. I'm in charge of the vision. Alberto is the expertise on fishing and the connection. And Davide, the management, the business planner. There are also Giovanni, our IT wizard, I say, because he's very good with informatics. Marco, on the marketing and the graphic designer. And for the next year, we want a new member about social media manager. We all love fishing on the team. We all love fishing on our personal and different way. And this permits us to understand the need to simplify and get an easy connection with the local expertise, but also to get more into the sustainable environment. So, if you want to have the sea, come aboard with us and take a closer look with our captain. Thank you for your attention.
Is online the platform?
The platform should be online from... the platform should be online for February, we want, and on beta testing, because we need to take the next season of the summer with the tourists. But we are working with on our own platform, but we have a white label platform from our partner that we can start to sell from January.
For which countries, Italy or the world, do you think?
We want to start from Venice, where we are.
Okay.
Okay, and then the Adriatic and all the Italy. But perhaps in the inland waters, like lake and rivers, where we have a lot of local fishermen, local guides.
So I didn't quite understand, where is the sustainable issue there? I mean, I understand the kind of matching that you enable, a fisherman with tourists who are willing to have an experience, but why is this sustainable? I mean...
Yeah. No, it is very, for the motion, I miss some part, I mean, but for the sustainable part of the idea, we want to verify and educate our fisher, the fisher that sing up, and then convey all this knowledge to the tourist. For example, a professional fisher that go outside during the night can bring to the morning 10 fish, but with the fishing tourism, they can do catch and release or take one fish and share with the tourist.
Yeah, but one of the big issues about fishing is that we are exhausting the fishing capability of our season and lakes and whatever in July, more or less. Then we have to stop fishing and then to let the fishes grow again. and so on and so forth. So that's a big sustainability issue that we have, which is countered, however, as I understand, by aquaculture, right? I mean, by growing fishes instead of going fishing them. So is there anything that has to do with that? More, sort of environmentally aware attitude towards eating fish or consuming fish? Because that seems a big issue, which I don't see, which I fail to see how you help to solve.
Yeah, this is an important problem, but we are here to understand this problem because, for example, also FIPSAS, also a lot of organizations find this problem. And during the COVID, we understand better, and a lot of law came from the government, and yeah, is a in-time problem that needs to be resolved. Yep.
Right. So I'm not questioning the idea in itself. I just, it seems a bit artificial to sell it as a sustainable, as an idea to help sustainability. That's my only point. I mean, it's probably a very fantastic idea for a very good tourist experience, but I wouldn't sell it. I mean, I wouldn't stress the sustainability message too much because I don't really feel that there's much to sell except you can grow some kind of consciousness in the tourist about the fishing activities and so on and so forth. But
this is a long-term solution. On the years, we need to over and over reduce the professional fishing. So this is the.
How do you think to reach your customers?
Okay, yeah, for example, the last weekend we reached our stakeholder and our customer an exhibition, but with Astronaut, that is a 40 years long group that have the marinas and the touristic port can share to their local boat owner the possibility to have this platform. But with the answer from the exhibition, everybody respond positive, and with the passaparola, with the the spread of the voice, this need useful.
Okay, thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thanks. Thank you. Our next team is Arti. Come on up.
Great. Good evening to everyone. So I would like to start from this photo, and I would like to explain you the relation with our project. Today, we have a shortage of funds for preserving cultural heritage. It's an important priority. In fact, in Italy, the GDP allotted for preservation is very low, much lower compared to other countries. This is our solution. We want to engage individuals and connect individuals with the cultural heritage, in particular with the project of restoration of cultural heritage. Our functionality, our technology permit people to decide exactly where to donate, which portion of the monument to donate. In fact, we are working on developing our web app that uses a digitalization mechanism and technology to create a real engagement experience with emotion, with educational kind of experience for people. People can select the project and they can decide where to donate. The donation is really is free. People can decide exactly to donate high amount or low amount. In this way, we believe that we can respond to the problem of declining trust because we connect people with the philanthropy and the fundraising process and the connection with the need. In fact, as I said, we use the digitalization technology and our functionality create an algorithm that portions the digital twin, so we are going to create a digital twin, so that people can exactly decide where to donate. And we are going to lock the donation through the technology that is the blockchain, so the blockchain is there forever. And we want also to connect the spirit of sustainability for the cultural heritage and also the engagement of belonging and awareness, for sure. Also very important for us is to connect with our Italian, made in Italy company, cultural creative company, that is part of our heritage. In fact, this company are going to connect with our program that we call Art for Heritage. So what's happened that donor, when make the donation, our algorithm is going to calculate how much could be the voucher that people can use it and have it. We are working our first pilot project to testing our prototype with the municipality of Verona, but we have a market expansion in other five historical cities. Our revenue stream. The first revenue stream for sure is related to the commission for fundraising. The second revenue stream is more related to our program, the Art for Heritage, because we believe that we can create value for this company. And the third stream that we are working on is going into the digital asset management platform to connect people with an impact investing with cultural heritage. So our funding need mainly is direct to cost to develop our team and then to continue working our platform and create a much more user experience interface. Where we want to be, where we want to position ourselves, we want to be there on the top right, vertical on cultural heritage as a fundraising platform. We stand out for innovation and digitalization. This is our team. We have a solid experience to move our project forward, take the proper decision for team expansion connected with our 2-year business model. We start in 2020 with the development of our idea, and we move step by step till where we are today. So what we are going to offer? We are going to offer an alternative to you, to everybody, to connect our lovers to the beauty of our country, a historical city, so that everyone can make the difference and be part to preserve the most important part of the capital, that is the cultural heritage, for the future of the next generation. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the presentation. And I would like to take this image to make a question because probably I didn't understand a specific part. Let's imagine that I invest or I make a donation for, let's say, restoration of the food of Davide, but nobody else pay for other part of the sculpture. What happened?
So let's say that David need to be restored, right? We are going to create a digital twin of David, and we make people available to donate, and they can exactly decide through our algorithm where they are going to put the donation, and the donation are going to be locked through the blockchain solution technology. Yeah. So then, let's say that we are not going to have all money to restore David, but there is also the municipality that have to take care. So we are going to provide some kind of saving of the resource that the municipality and the government have also to put for preserving David. So in a kind of way, our platform is to engaging people through an immersive and an educational experience, express the value of cultural heritage, and also make the opportunity that cultural heritage can create much more emotion for people understanding why cultural heritage have to be preserved for the future.
So it's a neat idea, but typically you use blockchain to prove that you own something, right? To others. Maybe you want to stay anonymous. So, but in donations, is this really a point in, in proving to others that you have donated that much? I mean, donations have to do with a different, attitude towards money, right? And property. It's a philanthropic thing. And
yeah,
right.
absolutely. Let me precisely explain about blockchain. Blockchain make the anonymity. It's a decentralized ledger. So when you are going to make your donation through the blockchain solution, we are really create much more transparency and traceability. You know why? Because today, people don't donate, but correctly. Why? Because there is a lack of transparency on how funds are going to be used. So through our algorithm, we create into the digital twin, so we are going to create a digital representation. The digital representation is going to fractionate, portion it, and you are going to donate it. You can be anonymous, but you know exactly through the blockchain solution and technology that your money are going to be locked in that kind of portion. And then through our platform, you are going to be engaged to see the result thanks to your donation. And plus, based on your amount of your donation, you are going to receive a voucher from local, made in Italy enterprise for culture and creativity industry that we are going to select properly because we believe that is part of the value of and the meaning of heritage, Italian heritage. But not just Italian.
So in a way, you can trace the way that your donation has been used?
Exactly. We are tracing. We ensure that the donations are going to be used there because we release the money in combination with the development of the project with our partner. That could be the municipality, could be foundations, could be also museum.
Where do you start from? An agreement? How do you avoid to be cloned from someone else that can collect money when people know that you are collecting money to restore the object?
How we are going to make an agreement?
Okay, if you start from an agreement, if you can avoid to be cloned from someone else.
So the agreement that we are going to do is with the municipality. The municipality gives us the opportunity to work on that kind of monument or artifact that need to be restored. We are going to create a digital twin, but our contract, legal contract, ensure that the property of the digital twin remain to the municipality, right? And we are going to work on our functionality to create the Porsche automatically now through our algorithm is create this portion through the monument itself.
So, but then, just discussing. So I do this transaction and this is traced in the blockchain, and then, but the city council has to stay within the system, right? To make for you to be able to trace how your money, your transaction is being used.
Yes, exactly. Thank you very much for this question because it's very important. I like to call Arti as a collaborative platform. Why? Because exactly the municipality have the right and the administration right to go into our platform and see exactly how the initiative fundraising initiative is moving forward.
Yeah, but also they have to stick to the same sort of protocol to let you see how your donation is being used, right?
Which protocol? Sorry.
The blockchain. So their own transactions in the restoration process will have to stay within the blockchain, wouldn't they? Otherwise.
No, the blockchain, sorry, just guarantee that the money are going to embedded and locked for something, yeah? So then we release the money at the end of the initiative to the municipality, and we are going to inform donor that the money has been released to the municipality.
I know, but right, so yes, but how do you know the municipality is going to use it for the purpose you intended?
because there is an agreement then. Right. So with the municipality itself, we are going to release the money only when we see that the project of the restoration can start, and we give the money for that project.
But you still trust the municipality then, which is a good idea.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. They, I see. We're going to have a lot of conversations going on during drinks and food after the last presentation. So our next one up is, our next team is Agropop. Agropop, where are you guys? Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much. I'm Piero Tonini, and today I will present our project called Agropop. Actually, this project, Agropop, came from a startup that I founded 2 years ago in Barcelona. It's a spin-off of Autonomous University of Barcelona. And behind this, there is a funny story. I start my entrepreneur pathway with serendipity 3 years ago. I remember when Michele Savorgnano called me when I was in Myanmar and asked me to come back in Venice and to be a mentor in a program related to urban agriculture company. And the project called Italy's, and then after 1 year, I went in Barcelona and I created this startup called Tecton Garden. I hope that I fulfill the desire of Fabio on that. So what's going to the project, Tecton Garden is a startup that is based on the installation of a high-tech and closed-loop production system. Basically, we are doing hydroponic system, aquaponic system, integrated system, specifically on the rooftop. But what we would like to do in our startup is try to make it easy for the people to grow their product and go to a low-tech level. So to make it more democratic, the process of cultivation. So I would like to start my presentation with a quick question. How many of you do you want to have some plants on your balcony or garden? So raise your hand. So a lot of you. And I imagine that a lot of you have a lot of plants in your balcony or terrace. Unfortunately, this is the problem that we face around the city. There are a lot of people that have a desire to have some plants, but doesn't have the knowledge or doesn't have the time to do that. So what we would like to do with our project is basically to fill this gap and transform you in a farmer. So when you go around on the city, specifically on my hometown, Venice, you can see a lot of balconies that are completely empty. Or if you go in Barcelona, you're going to see a lot of vacant lots, what we define from a scientific point of view, this enormous desert of terrace that is completely empty. So taking in consideration that in a city like Barcelona, there are more than 2,000 hectares of vacant lot that could be fulfilled by green plant. So what we would like to do with Agropop is a service that's help you to design and maintain your outdoor plant, basically to make it easy for you to grow your plant. To try to fill this gap that I previously mentioned, that is the knowledge and then the time, we elaborate different strategies. The first one, we create a plant finder. Basically, this will be a free tool for everyone user. You don't have to pay for that. It's an entry point, entry gate for our product. It's working like a user. You're going to put your location, the availability of your space, and the light availability, so the hours of sun, and we'll give it to you the number of plants that you can grow on your terrace, on your balcony. Second step, what we do after that, you have this list of plants. We give you the permission to buy it, basically. You can select along the list, you can buy this product, and after that, we also give to you nutrients, soil, and planters. We give to you everything that is needed for the cultivation in one single step. To make it more easy, and this is actually the second type of issue that we found that is the issue of time, we create a subscription service. This is a subscription service that is based on, you're going to select the plant. For example, we can take in consideration a lettuce. You buy these lettuce, and then you will receive every 2 months this plant of lettuce or different plant of leafy vegetable, in order that you can continue and keep growing without that your plants going green and then your garden will be empty of plants. A part of this system, what we are going to give to you is also another functionality. We would like to help you to take care of the plant. Specifically, we develop a system with artificial intelligence based to understand the nutrition deficiency of the plant and also the disease that affect your plant. This is very easy because there are a lot of nutrition deficiency and disease, but at the end, what is affecting the urban grower are few. We can count in our hands. So this is actually the way how we help the people to maintain and keep growing in their garden. If you don't have any of these products, for example, if you don't have any planters, what we propose to you is a cheap kit that is a easy way to install your first garden in your balcony or your first garden in your terrace. The first one is a kit related for your balcony, where we provide flower, nutrients, soil, and the planters. And the second one is a kit related for the cultivation of our horticulture product in your terrace. How are we going to do that? We are committed to create a sustainable process within the urban agriculture system, and we decide to provide a sustainable product. Our planters are 100% made by reused material. Keep in mind, not recycled, reused. There is no energy in the process. We are just reusing a material. Which kind of material? We are going to use what is thrown away, basically, within the big exposition. In particular, we are speaking about felt. The felt is one of the material that is thrown away during the big exposition. I went to the Smart City Congress in Barcelona, and I collect more than 300 meters of these materials of felt that the people, basically, it's a cost for this company to throw it away and bring it out. And what we are doing in our company is basically taking the material, cutting, cleaning, and at the end, sewing to create our planters. We create 2 types of planters, as I showed you at the beginning. The first one is rounded, and the other one we call as sweeters, because it's a flat type of planters. So in this process, what we are going to do is make it more sustainable and easier, the cultivation of your plant. So this is basically a quick overview of how will look like your garden or your balcony or your terrace when you're going to buy AgriPulp. And if you want to join our mission, buy an AgriPulp, because growing has never been easier. Thank you very much.
You didn't show. Okay, so who is on the team? Do you have an expert in botanics or that sort of thing?
It's a spin-off of Autonomous University. Every one of us are or agronomists or environmental engineer.
Okay, so, but my question is, I mean, this is going to be automatic, right? I mean, you sort of you sort of measure or ask details about the general condition of the place, right? Of the balcony, the exposure to sun, and so on and so forth. And then you recommend the cultivations to be developed, right? Is this? I mean, well, you're an agronomist, so you probably know it, but isn't it the case that you need to know more in detail the local conditions, the details of the microclimate that the place has, the humidity, the winds, whatever. I mean, very specific conditions, right?
Okay, if I can answer to your question, I mean, with the three factor that I indicated, that is basically where you're located. If I know where you're located, there are open data in whatever meteorological installation around Europe at least, so I can know the temperature, the wind.
How about insects?
What?
Insects.
I mean, for the insects, there are a specific there is the specific AI approach to detect it. But for the selection of the plant, is very easy and straightforward, because actually when you know the temperature, when you know where are you located, the season, when we know the constraint, the main constraint is the light availability. So for example, if I'm growing something in a narrow street in Venice, it's completely different to grow something in what is called the altana, the rooftop. So this is actually the main constraint. After that, when we know the localization, is very easy and straightforward to select the plant, at least to give a range of plant, because we are going to, at least what we like to do is basically substitute the florist, because when you don't know, are you going to the florist and ask to him, what can I grow? And what we are going to provide, and this actually is, I think it's part of our mission, gives this first entry gate for free, because you don't need to buy from us anything. What we would like to do is, I think it's part of our mission, it's making the cities greener. So it's empower the people, give the information to the people to do it.
Is the platform running in Barcelona, in Spain, or somewhere? So it's
the platform is basically, it's a PhD thesis of one of the component of the team. It's not already online. We already created the dashboard, but it's not online. When we are going to launch the product AgriPulp, we're going to launch also the platform. We just during these 2 years of startup, we created several installation of hydroponic system in Barcelona. So it's actually where we are working more is in Barcelona.
Okay, thank you. Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, we're ready for our last team today. Team Aka, please come on board.
So, good evening to everyone. We are the last. Yeah, that's the truth. And then that's the reason why we should start immediately. In the European Union, the urgent transition into less polluting combustion engines, and this is the topic now, is mandatory by 2035. Yet it costs too much to the consumers. In general, this problem affects all sectors based on combustion engines. So let's make an example. For example, fishing boats, which might be our initial market segment, consume in average 20,000 liters of fuel per month, equivalent of that of a car of 9 years. Additionally, the costs of fuels increased dramatically in the last year. And replacing a combustion engine, we can say it in euros or in dollars, costs at least 50,000 euros.
HiMove is a hydrogen-generating device whose installation allows the combustion engines to reduce fuel consumption and emissions of pollutant and CO2. And this device does not require the replacement of the engine. Our technology is based on an electrolytical cell. We input water and electricity, and we get, on demand, a stoichiometric mixture of hydrogen and oxygen, which is injected into the air intake manifold of the combustion engine. Our device is easy to install, is not invasive for the hosting engine, and is safe. HiMove is estimated to make you save up to 20% of fuel, which means a dramatic reduction of the emissions of CO2 and pollutants. And this allows you to earn environmental certificates. Our device is patented, guaranteed, and certified.
Our device has already been tested in the marine market. And that's actually the reason why we would like to propose, or we wish to propose, our technology in Venice. And in particular, to freight transport, let's say it better, to private owners of freight transport, tourist transport, and lagoon fishing boats. In this way, we predict to sell 400 devices, as we hope. Next, the Venice model, because it's the same, can be remoduled and exported to the other European sea cities, such as Hamburg or Copenhagen or Amsterdam. There, we hope to sell further 800 devices, just to give some numbers. The same device can be immediately proposed also in other market segments. For example, or in particular, we put our eyes on the agricultural sector, on roadworks, and on electric co-generators, for example, for city malls, schools, or hospitals. We have studied a B2B business model that is going to take advantage, on the one hand, of a 100 workshop network as resellers, and on the other hand, a contact to fleet companies via trade associations, because we believe that this is easier. Subsequently, we plan to license the off-Europe markets. The cost for our device is paid back by 1 year. The initial R&D phase is already completed, and just in December 2022, we will actually file a further patent. The product certifications will be ready in January 2023, and in the same months, the market entry production will be started. And finally, in April 2023, we will be ready to sell and to step up to production. I'm a bit careful with the word scale up to production, as you see, but to step up to production.
Engineers, material scientists, chemical physicists, expert in combustion engines, along with product designers, constitute our heterogeneous R&D team. And manager and business development professionals completed the staff. We also boast of a solid collaboration with Padua and Venice universities.
We say thank you very much for your attention to all of you. We are ready for your questions. With me on stage, there is Claire, our marketing specialist, Enrico, our technical specialist, and I'm Andreas. So please ask. So, devi prendere la cella. So, a last comment. Yeah, it's a bit more than a prototype, but this is actually what we are used in the last year. We have 1 year of testing. This is the electrical cell. This is already working. Yeah? Okay. Thank you.
It is the dimension of the device related with the, let's say, power of the motor that you should...
Do you mean the dimension to have the space for it? Do you mean that...
No. You're planning to apply this technology in many different fields, starting for nautics and marine things. Then my question is, the dimension of the device, it is related with the power of the motor, the engine that you need to use?
It's completely scalable. This is a so-called double cell, what you see here, a double electrolytic cell. So we can also have only one part of it. We can have two, but we can have also three or more. So it's exactly right. The production actually of the mixture, yeah, is according the motor size, yeah, correct.
And what is the cost of? Well, you mentioned that, you know, 50 compared to $50,000, right?
Yes, actually, I answered indirectly. You're right, because I said the payback is actually by 1 year. So this means exactly that the price of the single component will be according to the, let's say, to the motor and to the sector. So, for example, a fishing boat with this, let's say, consumption would have a payback in 2 days. No? So we have to arrange the price in the right manner. To be a bit more maybe clear with absolute numbers, so we leave that we have a starting price for, let's say, sectors that will not have a very big consumption, let's say, starting from 3,000 euros, but can go up to 15,000 euro, for example, if you're talking about fishing vessels. Yeah.
And this is ready, huh? This is working.
Sorry?
This is a working technology.
Yeah, this is an already working technology. Yeah, we have 1 year. We are 1 year after tests.
Right. And you're a startup?
Yeah, we hope. So we're in the last phase to start.
Off.
Is AK Industries innovative startups? The AK Industries is the.
If you are a startup. Yeah. We are in all effects an Italian company and a startup. So we are inserted in the, let's say, in the Visura Camerale, exactly in this specific section.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you based in Venice now?
So at the moment we have the legal seat, the headquarters in Milan.
Okay.
And the operative seat in the province of Verona.
I have just a small question, if nobody want to. Regarding the installation of this device, it is necessary to have a specific knowledge, or the final client could install by himself?
Yeah, this is another good question. Obviously, we will not install directly from our side let's say, the device. We will get the installation to workshops. They will have instructions, obviously by us. And then they will do the correct installation. Yeah, of course, at the beginning we are with them, but then they will go ahead alone. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So thank you to all the teams. Yeah.
First of all, congratulations to all the teams for a great presentation. Yoo-hoo! Good job. So next, the jury will retire. I'm going to introduce you, just for 1 second. Stefania Agnoli from Unicredit. Michele Bugliesi from Fondazione di Venezia. Marco Lotito from Habitat WMF. Max Romero from UAV. Susanna Zuccarini of Invitalia. Okay, so now go in, write the numbers on each team, and then come back out. And thank you all for all the people at home who have been sitting there for over an hour and a half now, if you're still there. There were 70 plus people earlier when I looked, so there's a lot of people watching from around the world, I think. Okay, just a quick note for those of you who are here, including the startups. These are the criteria that the jury is using to grade you. And there's a 1 to 5 point scale for each one of these dimensions. And the winner will be the one with the highest number. And then the prizes that will be coming right after are from Fondazione di Venezia, who's providing first, second, and third prizes to the top 3 ranked startups based on the jury's deliberations. The top one will get 5,000 euros, the second one will get 3,000, and the third 2,000. Our prize from Serendipity is only for startups who commit to setting up shop in Venice. And please, startups, do fill out that form that I just sent around again, because unless you give us your commitment, we can't give you the prize. So I sent an email, so if you haven't seen it yet, if you haven't filled it out, please do, just one per team. And then Habitat, WMF, will provide some support and access to a lot of publicity and road shows and a stand at the WMF We Make Future startup fair in Rimini, which is the biggest one in Italy with over 30,000 startups. So that's a pretty big prize as well. So while we wait, I'd like to thank again all the supporters. This wasn't shown earlier. These are the other supporters. I already thanked the big ones. These are the other ones who supported us throughout the program. In particular, I'd like to thank Find the Way and Andrea Marella, who has been here for every single one of our and also Constant Alstad, who's been also here all along. And yes, quick thing about the future while we wait for their deliberations. Our immediate plans, very quickly, if you're from Venice, just so you know, we are going to complete the Smart Desk project, and we're going to have a whole bunch of case study focus groups in Venice. You might be invited to some of these. We're trying to determine why residents have been leaving the city. This is a 3-year-long project that we've been engaged in, and we're exploring these 3 dimensions. This is going to be happening in the next couple of weeks. So we're going to have all these focus groups. And then on the 12th and 13th of December, if you're again in Venice, please come by and hear and see the final presentations of our 7 teams of WPI students who have been here since mid-October and will be finishing their research projects, and we'll invite all of you to them if you want to come. Our long-term plans, basically we are here until 2027. That's when our partnership with the city ends. Hopefully they'll renew it. So we have about 5 years. In these 5 years, these are the numbers we're trying to get to. There will be over almost 400 students from WPI coming here. This is why we can offer all this free research to all you guys. All the startups that have participated, you can get a team from WPI to help you. Cosmo will continue to do its shows with Emanuele behind the scenes here, but we're just doing hundreds of shows but in 5 years, I'm sure. In the summer, there will be MITdesignX students from MIT that will start coming to Venice as well to support our teams again. And future note, we're trying to start a fund, a startup fund for Venice, for a 20 million euro fund. That's what I'm going to do this year for the rest of the year. And of course, we're going to have MITdesignX every year for 5 years. And if we match at all what MIT has done in Boston, which is this in 5 years, we will create 300 jobs in Venice, which would be incredibly awesome for us. As a reminder, that's what we're here for. The program next year is going to be the same, more or less, as this year, but please spread the word to all your friends and get some, be our ambassadors out there, get some good ideas to come our way. So we can use technology to develop and preserve the Serenissima, which is our name, and create jobs, which is what we want to do, and through that, repopulate the city of Venice, which is our ultimate aim. And that's why we exist, actually. So that's why the prize, the Serendipity Prize, is for those who come and set up in Venice. And here it is. 6 months free co-working space here. 4,000 hours of free research. That's a lot of hours. And MITdesignX support in the summer. And of course, the usual mentorship and so forth. And hopefully we'll have the funds as well. If Gila wants to say something about plans for the future, or what else DesignX is doing as we wait for the prizes.
So MITdesignX Venice is one of many outposts now of DesignX. Of course, we're based in MIT in Boston, but we're also doing work in Iceland and coming up very soon in Dubai, amongst a few other places. And being part of the network, being part of DesignX Venice is also going to mean being part of DesignX Global. And you don't just do something, I think some people had in their presentations, starting in Venice, going to the world, made in Venice, going to the world. So that's what we want to see, and we want to help you get to the rest of the world. And in the same token, people doing things in Dubai come to Venice, Reykjavik come to Venice, Berlin come to Venice. This network of matching people who want to make a difference and an impact in the world, make the environment better, make society better, which was the common theme of everybody that you heard today. This is what we want to see around the world. And then when we bring good people together, we see good things happen. So that's what we're going to continue doing. Fabio mentioned, 300 jobs were created by these teams. It's gone up by like another 50 since that slide went up. We're seeing this rapid growth right now. But we started with 0, right? 6 years ago. So it happens very quickly, Fabio. Just so you know. I again just want to thank everybody who's been watching online. I saw some numbers going up pretty high on the YouTube. I was checking in every so often. Everything's going to be recorded, and we're going to be sharing this and promoting this now for the next while. So it didn't end today. Everything began today. All right, keep that in mind. This is a start. So thank you guys. Thanks everybody. I think we're going to wait till. I know I think we're standing between you and the wine and the wonderful food that's behind this curtain.
Just tell them what's coming after.
Yeah, I think we're going to do that, and then we'll.
Yeah, no, so as soon as the jury comes out, there's going to be 3 prizes. So we're going to start with the Habitat Prize. So you get a little explanation of what Habitat is and what it can offer to you through the We Make Future big fair. That's going to be the first prize. And then the big prize, the Fondazione di Venezia prize, will be second. And then we will give the last prize to the Serendipity prize to the highest ranked startup that chooses to stay in Venice. Okay, so that's what's coming up next. We have Elisabetta Pesce as a representative of the mayor of Venice here. She's Assessore alla Sicurezza for Venice, for the city of Venice. And she will just relay everything to the mayor on our behalf. Thank you. Looks like they're done, maybe. We may have a winner. Oh, here come the big checks. You're going to get a big check, and then you go to a bank with it and see if you can cash it. And soon after that, we'll have our celebration behind the curtain. Thank you again for those who are watching this from home for your patience. It's been a long evening, but I think you got a lot of interesting stuff, interesting startups, ideas from this group. These are the pioneers of DesignX Venice. And we're proud of them, like they're all our children. And now the big prizes from Fondazione di Venezia. And let the President Bugliesi introduce the 3 winners backwards, of course. 3, second, and 1, yeah.
Okay, so it was a hard job to select. We're very good projects, all of them, but we did have to select. So in the end, I would say unanimously, and anonymously, we decided to, well, as follows, okay? So the third prize goes to Project 2 Gift. Simple idea, effective, with great impact. The second prize, so silver medal, goes to project based in Venice, Rehab. And the winner is Aka Industries. Well, let me add one word about the adventure here. It was Fabio. We met, we know each other. We've known each other for a while. I've always thought this is a wonderful place, and I've always thought this would be a wonderful experience, and it has been. It was up to our expectations. We had higher expectations, and you fulfilled them thoroughly. So thank you very much. Congratulations. And thanks to Gila as well, who I have had the pleasure to know and to meet. Great people that work with passion and deliver very effective projects. Thank you guys and congratulations.
And the last thing remaining before food and wine is the Serendipity Prize for the company that is not already located in Venice. So Rehab and EDOC didn't qualify because they're already in Venice, but they will still get the free research support and everything else. But the one company that was highest ranked that we will give hospitality to here in Venice, who has committed to moving here, is Pesco. Just a few seconds of pictures, and then we can all enjoy the dinner. So again, thank you very much, everyone, for participating in any which way you did. You were all great. I hope to see you guys around, and please spread the word for next year. Thank you.